What do you want? What exactly do you want? Ask yourself that question right now. And picture the end of where you're at. Picture yourself there with all the five senses and everything being exactly like you want. Your end goal. What is it? That's what we're going to talk about today. See you inside. Hey, Kathy Owen here, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about transforming your life in magic fashion. My name is Kathy Owen, certified fitness trainer and life coach since 2002. As a survivor of complex post-traumatic stress disorder and narcissistic abuse, today I teach others how to transform their lives in what appears to be magic fashion. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, click that little bell and subscribe so you never miss a video with me. Okay, what do you want? What exactly do you want? This is where we start Stop the Mind Screw program. A number one step. Because if you don't know what you want, you're going to hit these pitfalls I talk about today, and you're not going to get to where you want to be. I promise you, it just doesn't work. You'll float aimlessly off on the lake without your sail helping you. And what you want can be anything from a relationship to a job, to a business, to a family, to a house. All those things I want you to think about exactly what you want. And think about it from the end in mind. If you don't know what you want, you're going to float aimlessly off at sea, like a boat without a sail. We don't want to do that. No. We don't want to do that. So today we're going to talk about a definite chief aim, what you want, and exactly the sailboat to take. Here are some common pitfalls that you're going to hit if you don't have a definite chief aim. And number one, I bet you already know this, but you're going to drift. You're going to drift wherever the wind takes you. You know, Napoleon Hill wrote the book Outwitting the Devil. I love that book. It's one of my absolute favorites, probably in the top 3. And links in the description below. Awesome book. So if you don't have a definite chief aim, you're going to drift. And drifting is something that Napoleon Hill talks about in Outwitting the Devil. The devil wants you to drift. He wants you to just go aimlessly at it. And in today's world, it's so easy to do because you have access to so much information on the internet, and you can just be easily distracted, super easily distracted. Number 2, you become reactive instead of proactive. You may have heard me talk about this in previous videos, but reactivity is not really a good thing. Reactivity is when you get shaky and you just want to react just like that. But when you're proactive, you sit back and you look at things from a different perspective and you give it a moment, and then your actions are proactive. For example, take an argument you had with your spouse or your significant other or even a friend, and you immediately respond with anger and frustration, and you're like, no, it's better to sit back, listen to your higher self, and just be patient and then respond. I'm going to talk about revision in an upcoming video, but pruning shears of revision is so awesome to use when you do have an argument with somebody or you do have a disagreement at work or something like that, because it will change your life. So remember, be proactive, not reactive. Number 3, if you do not have a definite chief aim, you will go to the next year and everything will be the same. Nothing will change. And if you haven't ever had a definite chief aim written down on a note card, that you look at least twice a day, at least once a day, you're going to drift without purpose. You're not going to have anything concrete set in stone. And a year from now, it'll be the same thing. Number 4, pitfall. Okay, it could be the same thing, or it could be a lot worse. Could be a whole lot worse. Yeah. Go look at the video on my house got stolen from me, because it did. I also have a blog post on that. And go look at that. And I promise you, in 2018, I did not have a definite chief aim. I was drifting without purpose, and believe me, it showed. Number 5, you lose confidence. Because you have no purpose, you lose confidence. These things bring you down that you hit. The solutions that I'm going to give you will explain why, but confidence is key. Confidence is sexy. Confidence is hot. Confidence is assuredness, and you just come off better when you have confidence. You know, confidence is subconscious. Your subconscious mind rules everything. And if you're not paying attention and just drifting without a sail in your sailboat, you are going to lack confidence. You're not even going to know why you're doing what you're doing. So therefore, everything just happens like crazy. Weird. Trust me. All right, let's talk about solutions. Solution number 1, you know exactly where you're going. When you make a definite chief aim, you pick it from the end. You picture yourself in detail. Every little detail, you picture yourself at the end. All your 5 senses, every detail you can imagine. Your number 1 solution is you know exactly where you're headed. Number 2, pivots become easy. Why? Because you know they're contributing to where you're going. Pivots are, like I say, little speed bumps. They're bumps in the road that happen for a reason. You are not going to get your definite chief aim handed to you on a silver platter. It just doesn't happen that way. This is life. It doesn't happen that way. But when you write it down, when you look at it twice a day minimum, you know that that's coming. However, you're going to hit speed bumps, and you're going to have to pivot and change direction, just like when you're riding on a sailboat and you've got to change direction of the sail to go with the wind. You can't control the wind. You can't control circumstances that are going to happen. But what you can control is your attitude. And you could say, hey, I know this pivot happened for a reason. And you change direction. Number 3, one thing I absolutely love to teach is to analyze your year, your day, your week, your month, your quarter. Analyze them and see what happened and what contributed to your definite chief aim. For example, over the past year, last 2020, I got a tax bill for $5,000 from several years ago. And I was like, oh shit, how am I going to pay it? Well, I went back and looked at my definite chief aim for 2021, and it was to pay off my $5,000 tax bill without a problem. And I did. And that was a big speed bump. I hit several speed bumps I got that bill in November, and I hit several speed bumps that led me to pivot. I talked to a financial advisor of mine, and I said, hey, and actually this person isn't a financial advisor of mine. It's just somebody that was recommended to me. So I went and talked to her, and I said, look, I need to do this, this, and this. I mean, I knew what I needed to do. And she's like, no, Kathy, we don't do that anymore. That's not going to happen. So I just sat back and I said, okay, that was a speed bump. It's not where I want to be, but it's a speed bump. And so I just sat back and I watched for things to happen. I watched what went on in my world. I listened to conversations, and I had a conversation with somebody who said, "Hey, Kathy, I did this and I got this much money because of what happened this past year. They've been given, so I said, okay, I'm going to call them. I call them on the phone and they tell me, did this happen to you? Did this happen to you? And I'm like, yeah, that did. And well, you qualify for $14,000. What? I said, are you a genie? I seriously said that. And they go, guess what? This expires tonight. This expires tonight. I was going to wait until the new year and borrow it from my 401k. That would have not helped me at all. No, instead I did this, and I didn't take off $14,000. I took what I needed right there in the time, paid that tax bill off, no problem, and I even have some padding. But this is what happened. That's a pivot. That is a pivot. I want you to learn how to pivot. Reevaluate your goals often, not necessarily your definite chief aim. Your goals. So your goals break down into little small things that contribute to your definite chief aim. I like to break my goals down by day, by week, by month, by quarter, by year. I look at my journal and I see my goals. How are they contributing to this and how are they contributing to that? What do I need to do to change this? What do I need to do to change that? And voila. Number 4, you have a purpose and you know your why. When your definite chief aim is set in stone, you know why you're doing what you're doing. You're not just floating around going, okay, I'll date this guy, but I really want a relationship with somebody and I want this to work out. No, because you put all your eggs in one basket and you've got to be able to pivot. You've got to know your why you're doing what exactly you are doing. Because guess what? I'm going to let you in on a little secret that happens when you really know this. Synchronicities show up everywhere, all the time. And honestly, they're always there. Synchronicities are not coincidences, although they look like coincidences. They just happen. It's like I just said in my story about my $5,000 tax bill, and I paid it off easily. I paid that off long before I thought I was going to be able to pay it off, and it just worked out. And the synchronicities happen. You can't force it to come. You let it come. Number 5 solution that happens like crazy is you get in flow. That is the final destination of stop the mind screw. You want to be in flow most of your day, most of your weeks, most of your months. And when you get in flow, flow is when challenge meets skill. The challenge was the tax bill. The skill was being patient and learning and realizing that the wind changes directions and you never know when you're going to have that landfall. And when you get to the end and you look back at all those journaling notes that you wrote about your year and your definite chief aim, and you look back and you go, wow, I accomplished that before I even expected to, and it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen, but it happened. And now I'm at the place where challenge meets skill and I'm in flow. What's it time for? When you get to that goal, it's time to make another one because it's life. And challenges just will meet the skill and you're just going to want to grow and grow and grow exponentially. When you stop the mind screw, you grow exponentially and you transform your life in magic fashion. That's my video for today. I hope you liked it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did and subscribe so you never miss a video with me. Until next time, I'll see you next time. Peace out and namaste.